Good evening, friends. How's it going today? This is your old pal SVH here. Hey, I just wanted to take a few minutes before I head off to nighty night time. I'm trying to go to bed a little bit earlier these last couple nights because I figure the sooner I go to bed, the quicker the sixth will be here, and we'll have some exciting stuff to talk about, right? So trying to go to bed early so the sixth comes quicker. That's my logic. That's been my logic since I was a little boy. When I'm real excited about something and I want to go do something or see something, I try to go to bed early so it comes quicker. So, so before I take my HempWorks CBD with melatonin, which I do highly like, it works really well for me. And if you're interested in that, you can check my link below here and snag yourself up a couple bottles of that and enjoy. But before I take that and go off to nighty night time, I thought I'd kick back and have a toast with y'all, and we can have a little chat about something funny that I saw today that I'm sure most of you saw as well. So, did you guys see this? I believe he's a congressman or senator. I'm so out of touch with who's who. There's so many people in the political arena, and to me, they're all a bunch of clowns. So, this Emanuel Clever that spoke today, and he gave a prayer before the meeting of the Congress or the House, and I first of all I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. They're doing a prayer, that's not too often we see prayers in politics, and I think we need more of that. So that's cool as long as it's the right kind of prayer. And as you probably heard, he said, "Amen and Awoman" as the closing. So let's take a look here.
Ask it in the name of the monotheistic God, Brahma, and God known by many names, by many different faiths. Amen and Awoman.
All right. So anyway, a couple things that I found very interesting about this particular prayer was the fact that he said the monotheistic God, which is monotheism, is really a belief that there's one God, one God only, which I ascribe to. I believe that there is one God, and that all religions, all faiths are alluding to or talking about this one Creator. But for some reason, we feel like we need to compartmentalize God into different things and push him off into different religions and say, my God is, cooler than your God's cooler than my God, and, my God drives a bigger truck than yours, those kinds of things. So I thought that was an interesting term, monotheistic. And what made it even more interesting is that he followed it up by saying Brahma. Okay. So Brahma is the Hindu concept of divinity, and people work in the Hindu faith to become a Brahmin, which is an enlightened being, essentially. But if you look at the Hindu tradition, they have many gods and goddesses, so it can be very confusing to say monotheistic God and then followed up with Brahmin. But what made it even funnier is that he follows it up with Amen and Awoman. Now, this is pretty interesting. So, I know that there's a move right now, and there's this whole conservative effort with this cancel culture and things of that. I don't want to say conservative effort, concerted effort, I guess is the word that I was looking for there, where they're really trying to construct this ideology of the equality of the sexes, of the classes, of race, things like that. Which look, we're definitely looking to include everybody, unify everybody, bring everybody together as one. But this isn't really the way to do it. You want to do it in a way that unifies people through truth, through knowledge, through real spiritual ascension, not through dragging people down through some misinformation and some misconstrued wording and thoughts. So I thought I would take a few minutes to talk to you guys about Amen and what it means. Now, if anybody watched my video the other day about daily prayer, I ended the prayer, and a couple of the prayers that I've done on a few of the videos, I end it by saying Amen and doing this motion. So I explained a little bit about what that means, and I'll get into that after I give you some little definitions, and I'll expand upon that particular thing. But amen is basically an assertion of faith. It's something that you put at the closing of a prayer, and the real true meaning of it is so it is, or so it shall be, and so it is. These are the real meanings about it. If you look at the different places that the word came from, it's really been something that came from it's got a few different phoneticisms. So I made a few little notes here just to make sure that I correctly stated it all to you. Amen, amen, as we most commonly know it, comes from the Hebrew language. Amen is the same word, same meaning, but it comes from the Greek language. Okay, in Arabic, which is very much what the Islamic tradition follows or speaks in or uses, are a lot of the things that are done in the tradition. The Sufi tradition, speaks a lot in Arabic because it came through that time period. Amin. Okay, so that's why I say Amin. In Aramaic, which was Christ's real language, it's Amina. Amina. Essentially, it's an Abrahamic declaration that you give after a prayer. So, if you know anything about Abrahamic tradition, so Christianity, Judaism, and Islam all are part of an Abrahamic tradition. So, Abraham being one of the prophets and figures that has kind of crossed over those three particular sectors of faith. So it's really an affirmation. Again, so be it, so it is, and this was seen in the Hebrew Bible. So it's interesting. It's a non-genderfied word. It has no gender in it. There's no connotation of gender whatsoever in that word. It has nothing to do with the meaning. So to use it in that way to kind of confuse the point of the word, I think is more what it was used for. I think that's more why it was done. I don't think it was done to unify or to create more gender equality or anything like that. I think it was really done to just confuse people and to take power away from the word, which is a no-no. Bad, 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 Emanuel Clever. Okay? Not cool. So, again, going back to what I stated the other day about Amin, okay, which is, again, the same word, same meaning, just a different language. So there's going to be a different phonetic approach to it. But with Amin, there's a particular activation there that happens. So when you say ah is the heart, the tonality, the tone that you would use for the heart. So in my book, Mind Over Metal, in many other areas of knowledge and study, you'll find that there are certain notes and certain phrases and certain tones that you would use for the different chakras, okay? So being the heart one. Now you might remember several years ago, Wayne Dyer used to do an meditation. And it was a thing where you would focus on what you want in life, what you really want to receive, and you would do this and really just do it with the opening of the heart. Now I took some Indian classical lessons, some Qawwali music singing lessons a few years back, several years ago, and it was really interesting to me because I worked with this really well-known singer from India. And I was really surprised he did this online lesson with me. I just reached out and asked a few questions, and he called me up and he said, "Let's do this class online." And so I get on, and he gives me a whole hour lesson. And so the whole hour, we sat there and did what he called the ka, which is basically just working on getting the phoneticism of that so perfect to where you have the mouth open just right, the right it's not it's not it's not it's So really getting that to where you phoneticize it perfectly. And also you get this resonance. So you get this resonance which builds from the throat, also from the chest, and this opening of the heart and expanse of the heart that happens with So very, very powerful when you say Amen, Amen. but especially when you use the ah sound with it, it's really opening to the heart. Okay. Now the M, mm, mm, this is like a little death. The lips are closed. You're not breathing in and out. It's basically like the death of the ego, is how it was described to us. Um, is the opening of the heart, is this opening of the real. Um, then you rise up, have this little death of the ego or of the self with the lips closed. And then the een, E, is the tonality that you would use for the third eye or the pineal gland, and to kind of open things up to get the crown open and so forth, you would use this E sound. So mean is een, really bringing that opening of the heart, the little death of the ego with the little death of the little self or the ego, and then the opening of that third eye to really expand yourself into higher consciousness. Okay, so really, when this word was brought into use for this purpose, that was really the idea, and the concept behind it was really to have these activations within the human experience, to where you're actually opening yourself to activate those higher realities and that higher consciousness, to really bring yourself to that state of enlightenment. Okay. So, with that being said, again, really just interesting the use of words, and the way that this was presented in this prayer today. I thought it was really interesting. So I'm not a somebody that likes to bash people or put people down. I am going to talk a little smack probably about Chase Bank because they closed my business account today, but that's dirty bankers anyway. We're used to that, right? But aside from that, I try to keep it positive. I don't really like to put people down or talk about people behind their back. It's not part of my nature. It's not part of my training or anything like that. So I got nothing to say bad about this gentleman here. I'm not picking on him or putting him down. I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't know the meaning of the word. That's not my purpose for this. But clearly there was an intention to confuse and muddle the content of the prayer or the meaning behind the prayer. So, a prayer in a situation like that or a setting like that is really supposed to open and align and unite. And I think that that's what they want us to believe, that the statement was made that way for. Now, I know there's been some rebuttal statements and some things he said since this morning. I haven't seen them. I haven't followed with the news. I've been working all day, so I just really haven't done much more to pursue the story, other than really just wanted to take a few minutes to share these concepts about prayer and about the word. Amen, 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 amina. So yeah, I mean, there's these are powerful terms, and I guess I will kind of just end it with this thought: is that we have to really look at the intention of words. Okay, and this is something that I'm going to work on a lot, or talk about a lot on this channel, and in my videos, is really just what what is really meant by words, and why words are used. Certain words are chosen, certain words are said, the way that they're said, the intention that they're said. Um, if you think about a doctor, you go to a doctor usually talks to you in a pretty soothing manner. Well, there's some concern here. There's some things that we want to make sure that we get tested and we take a look at, to make sure that you're really, running at your optimal health, right? So imagine now if you had a general, an army general or a military general, that talked to his troops that way. Well, guys, we're going to go into battle. We're going to do some stuff. There's going to be some fighting, and it might not be fun, but go get them, guys. It's going to be all right. Let's check some things out. It just wouldn't have the same effect as if, you got the drill sergeant that's in there, really giving that really commanding the attention of the troops in a certain way to get their mentality aligned with the fight. Okay, so imagine then if you switch that role and your doctor is using that, same kind of tonality. Son, you don't look too healthy. I think we're going to have to whip you into shape and get you fixed up, boy. It wouldn't have the same effect on you, and you'd probably leave the doctor's office feeling even more shaken than you were when you found out you had something you had to address in the first place. So really just the power of language and the power of the tonality and what we put behind the language and behind the words is really important. And you'll see more and more of this, as things start to unfold. And I think we're going to learn over the next few months, especially over the next few weeks, just how much our language, just how much truth has been distorted and used against us, and just simple little things. If you get into some of the common law stuff and you look at things like you go to court and they put all your name all in capital letters, that's because to you they are a business. You are a business and a commodity, and you can go in there and really you can fight that because they're going against you in that court case or whatever it is as a business arrangement, a business agreement, and you're not part of that business. You don't have an agreement with them. You don't have a thing. But when they do those little things where they change your name to caps and all those types of things, that's a way to manipulate. And they're manipulating the words, the language, the numerology, everything around us has been manipulated to fit into this I guess for lack of a better way, this Kabbalistic plan and idea of how to encroach upon the light with more darkness. But we're going to flip that around, right? We're going to get our flashlights out and shine them in their face and show them what's up. Yeah, I just think that was really interesting, the way that was all kind of put together. So I think it's really important that we look at language, we look at words, we look at how we speak and what we speak about and the way that we speak, and take ourselves to task. And I think we're going to start to see that unfold more and more. And this is a big part of my work. So if I can be of any encouragement to anyone, if anybody ever wants to reach out or to speak with me more about any of these things, I love to talk about frequency. I love to talk about the word, the power of the word. Just this. I'm a sound nerd. I'm a musician by trade, by nature, and over the years, I just really wanted to dive in and understand more about what it is that I can harness in sound, in word, in notes, to really bring about more enlightenment and more peace and more love and harmony into the world. So, with that said, yeah, reach out anytime. I'm always here to help you guys. You can send me a message here. You can send a message to the collective, and we'll make sure that I get that answered for you. So, yeah, I think that's about all I'm going to say about it. But I want to say Amen. So it is. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all the support. Again, if you guys would mind hitting the like and subscribe button below, hit the notification bell. That helps me out a lot. It keeps things coming to you every time I do these. And I sure do appreciate the support. And I guess now I'm going to go take my CBD so the 6 comes quicker. All right. Take care, everybody. Blessings.